Is about the United States. It has placed a missile system in the Philippines as tensions with China go up. A missile system that can fire cruise missiles with range exceeding 1,600 kilometers, missiles that can basically strike targets directly in China. Is the US preparing for war with China? It does look like it. The missile system had been deployed on the northern island of Luzon, facing the South China Sea. It is close to the Taiwan Strait. Latest satellite image taken by Planet Labs showed the Typhon at the Lawag International Airport in Ilocos Norte province. You see, according to reports, the United States has no immediate plans to withdraw a mid-range missile system that was deployed at a location in North Philippines, despite Chinese demands. It's called the Typhon system, and it was brought in for joint exercises earlier this year, but it has remained there. According to Philippine officials, Filipino and US forces continue to train using it. The Southeast Asian archipelago of the Philippines, which is also Taiwan's neighbor to the south, by the way, is an important part of America's strategy in the region. In the event of war, the Philippines would be an indispensable staging point for the military to aid Taiwan. Of course, China is not happy with the American move. China and Russia have condemned the first deployment of the system to the Indo-Pacific and accused Washington of fueling an arms race. On Thursday, in fact, China's foreign ministry said that Beijing was very concerned about the US plan to keep the system in place.
China is gravely concerned about relevant reports. With regard to the deployment of the mid-range missile system in the Philippines by the United States of America, China has repeatedly and sternly stated its opposition. We urge the countries concerned to face up to the voices of the countries in the region, rectify their wrongdoings as soon as possible, stop provoking military confrontation, withdraw the missile system as soon as possible in accordance with their previous public commitments, and refrain from going further and further down the wrong path.
The deployment comes as China and the Philippines clash over parts of the hotly contested South China Sea. In recent months, there have been a series of sea and air confrontations in this strategic waterway. As recently as the 31st of August, China and the Philippines accused each other of ramming their ships in a disputed area of the South China Sea. Footage released by the Philippine Coast Guard showed multiple collisions between the two ships in the South China Sea. According to Philippine Army spokesman Colonel Louis de Mala, training was ongoing, and it was up to the US Army Pacific to decide how long the missile system would stay. The Philippine Army had said the Typhon could stay beyond September. Soldiers trained with it as recently as last week. The US and the Philippines are reportedly testing the feasibility of using the missile system there in the event of a conflict. They are testing how well it works in that environment. The Typhon missile system can launch missiles including SM-6 missiles as well as the feared Tomahawks that has a range exceeding 1,600 kilometers or 994 miles. The US Army reportedly flew the Typhon to the Philippines in April in what is called a historic first and a significant step in partnership with the Philippines. Now, there is no immediate plan to withdraw it. Senior US officials cited by Reuters say that the objective of keeping them there is to, quote-unquote, give them sleepless nights. Let me say that again. Give them sleepless nights, quote-unquote. By them, they mean China, of course. The official, in fact, said that there was strategic value for the Philippines in keeping the system to deter China. Amid tensions with China around Taiwan and the Indo-Pacific region, basically, the US has been amassing a variety of anti-ship weapons in the region. Washington is trying to catch up quickly in a way to a missile race in which China has currently got a big lead. Although it's not clear just how many will be deployed in the Indo-Pacific region, US government documents outlining military purchases say that more than 800 SM-6 missiles are due to be brought in the next 5 years. China has denounced the deployment of the Typhon several times, including in May, when the spokesperson for China's defense ministry accused the Philippines and the US of bringing huge risks of war into the region.